because I don't think this Morbius thing is as easy to break down as you might think in terms of why it's getting delayed. So if you haven't seen by now, Morbius. Is it just Morbius or is it Morbius the Living Vampire? I think it's just Morbius, at least for the movie's title. Morbius is getting delayed for a 7th time. It's getting delayed for the 7th time to April 1st, 2022. Now, there is a multitude of reasons for this. We're going to dive into all of them. The number one most glaring one is obviously COVID cases rising again with Omicron. I don't know how to pronounce this thing, man. And I had it and I don't even know how to pronounce it. But that's the most obvious one. Of Sony has been, as we've seen time and time again, uber reactionary to COVID. Of how many times did it move Venom and then move Venom back? So COVID is a factor here. A weird factor, but a factor. I think another factor is maybe they didn't expect Spider-Man to do as well as it is doing, because it's still making about $50 million this past weekend. It's still doing extremely well. So maybe they want to kind of stretch out Spider-Man a little bit more and not want this to eat into Spider-Man. And of course, we're going to throw all the logic and reasoning out the window for the rest of our reasoning here, because that's what we do. Maybe this movie doesn't connect with Tom Holland's movies as much as they want us to think it does. And so if this was out in theaters at the height of Spider-Man's still popularity, you go, oh yeah, so you were just lying to us about this, hoping that we would see it. Like, Tom isn't connected to this at all. But the out of left field thinking that I don't want to believe because it's too good to be true. And I would like to say we're not conspiracy theorists here, but we always have conspiracy theories. We have a freaking hat about it, so.
I am.
But the conspiracy theorist in me kind of goes, Sony may have accidentally stumbled into something brilliant that they were not originally planning, i.e. the multiverse. After No Way Home came out, everyone was clamoring for more Tobey, more Andrew, but especially Amazing Spider-Man 3. We're not getting Amazing Spider-Man 3, people. We never will. But that's not to say Andrew Garfield might not show up in other properties. It's a long shot. But I think they're delaying this to fit Andrew Garfield somehow into the Morbius universe. I know it's a long shot, but there's more evidence that this takes place in the Andrew Garfield universe than there is currently for it to fit in the Tobey or the Tom universe. Now, 5 months, it's like 3 or 4 months, I think, April 1st from now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be a post-credit scene, because I've watched interesting theories about this, but the Venom 2 end credits, where Venom gets teleported to our world and then No Way Home end credits where he gets sent back to his, I don't think that was always the plan. I think the plan was for Tom Holland to fight Tom Hardy. I don't think that's the plan anymore. I would not be surprised if Sony and Marvel work something out of going, okay, Marvel, you can have Tom, we will have cameo Garfield, and he will pop up in various Sonyverse movies. I know that's a little crazy, but I have a pretty safe bet that Josh is already thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's in my predictions. I'll deal with
same.
It's in my predictions. I'm not.
But to be fair, Josh and I both have actually been saying this months before No Way Home came out. We've been saying since the first Venom came out that actually we think Garfield will be the Spider-Man of the Venomverse, not Tom. Because
it just makes more sense.
Especially after No Way Home, where he says, I got angry and vengeful. I stopped pulling my punches. I'm going, the symbiote needs to take control of this man and possess the body of this man. And let him be the dangerous man he knows he can be.
I'm trying to not say too. I'm trying to say what I think about this.
So you're trying to say less, bro.
Say less because predictions are later. But yeah, and I think there's a lot that's going into the delaying of Morbius. I think the thing that keeps putting a chink in the armor as far as our theory of this being in Andrew Garfield's kind of universe. Uh, First of all, I think it's way more likely than I think any of us are giving it credit for. I think that I just don't see how it's not. Like, that universe has to have a Spider-Man. The thing that is the most confusing, however,
Michael Keaton.
is Michael Keaton.
Since when
And
does Sony care about continuity?
I mean, yes, here's the thing. Michael Keaton doesn't necessarily have to. We are assuming, because of the multiverse, that he plays the Vulture.
For all we know,
Now,
he could be playing Bruce Wayne in this universe.
who knows? But like, my point
Sony has made a deal with Warner Brothers. The Flash is going to show up in Morbius.
I mean, that's likely. You can't say that's not.
I mean, Ezra Miller already looks like he's a bloodsucker, so.
Ooh, and he already punches women. He's halfway there. Anyway, ooh, yeesh. Okay, too close to the line there. But yeah, no, I honestly, at this point at this juncture, I don't think that this delay is a bad thing. I don't think this is a reflection on the movie itself. I think it's a reflection of the situation we're in, and maybe trying to film a post credit scene or something like that.
It's either that or bizarre confidence in Sony. Like, they must be like uber confident in this weird movie, which I would not be if I'm then, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
But like that second trailer is pretty good. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. But I'm not going to be surprised at all if Andrew shows up.